These two teams, in terms of their strengths and weaknesses, are made for each other and made to make things difficult for each other. And this is why this game is going to be one of the most interesting games that we're going to watch. Magesi is so great at suffering. They're so good at taking damage. Most of the games that Magesi plays and they win in are games that they score against the run of play, which means they've sort of mastered the art of being able to take damage, man. There's a reason why Chipezedze is the man of the match every single game that they play, because he has so much work that he has to do. It's almost frustrating to watch a Magesi game because you'd imagine that you have to have scored 2 or 3 goals by a certain point. And this Mamelodi Sundowns team is built to give damage. So in that sense, I think Magesi will be taken to its extreme of how much damage it can take, because Mamelodi Sundowns has more box entries, they take more shots, they want to beat you by as many goals as they can, they're relentless in their attack. So from the Magesi side, in that sense, we're going to be watching who can hunt better and who can survive better. But because Magesi is so good at taking damage, the other thing that they do very well is they are able to take their chances very, very, very well. They've got a high conversion rate of chances. They only need 1 or 2 chances to score 1 or 2 goals. They don't need to see your goal for the whole match, and you might come out with a 1-0 loss because they've scored that one chance that they've gotten. They're so built for a counter-attacking game where they win the ball back, commit 3 players, and try to do a 3v2, 2v1 type situation so that they can catch your defense on its heels. The moment you have committed too many people forward, they can hit you on the counter. Then, outside of the straight play counter, they also have that man Mokwena who loves the crosses from the left-hand side and seem to find his head every single time. So there's an aerial threat to Magesi that I'm not sure Mamelodi Sundowns has faced too many teams that can do that. If you look at the game that they played versus Royal AM looked a lot dangerous towards the end of that game, even though they lost 2-1, where they were starting to play very dangerous crosses. There was one particular one that just missed the attacker, and that could have been a 2-2. And the other part that is incredible about Magesi and the ability to take it damage means that you can take advantage of the one glaring weakness that Mamelodi Sundowns has in my analysis of his Sundowns. My analysis of his Sundowns says that in the last 30 minutes of a game, for some reason, Mamelodi Sundowns loses control. Magesi is out for blood when they face Mamelodi Sundowns in the Carling Black Label Knockout Cup final this weekend. And Superbets wants to make sure that you don't miss out on this game or watch it on TV. They want you in the stadium, and they're giving away 5 double tickets and your share of 10,000 Rand. So if Velo and you want to see if Umangoba can bring Mamelodi Sundowns their first non-league local trophy since the last time he was head coach with the other guy, all you have to do is follow the link in my profile and the one that's in the description of this video, register on the Superbet site, make a 50 Rand bet, and comment hashtag SuperbetsOVF on all of their social media platforms. Then you'll be able to see if Coach Larson can win another knockout trophy to go with the one he won with Bloemfontein Celtic in 2012, or if Sundowns can finally prove that all that was standing in their way was Orlando Pirates. Either way, this match is going to be incredible, and you can watch it live thanks to Superbet. So the way I view it is that Sundowns, because they've now got this new style of play where they want to go and go and go and go, when the game switches from a game that Sundowns is dominating an attack and now the other team has to come back and start playing, it's almost like Sundowns Nayo still wants to go and play. They still want to be risky and somewhat reckless. They still want to try passes that don't make sense. And that's why, towards the end of games, Chiefs almost makes it 2-2. Royal AM almost makes it 2-2. Bulukwane City manages to sneak an 82nd minute, I believe it was, winner versus Mamelodi Sundowns. But Mamelodi Sundowns' strengths are that they have the best of both worlds. It's a Sundowns team that can be patient if they want, Ronwen can play to Obas, who has improved immensely. They can play it at the back and try bait you in and have you jump and then take advantage, which is how they score most of their, well, how they look for their goals. They want to get you out of position and running at Ronwen and running so that they can play the balls through. But then they also have the other side of the game where Ribeiro, with that 10 that he plays, is able to give the ball to Reyners, give the ball to Shalulile in counter-attacking situations. And I think Ribeiro, the 10 that he plays right now, is such an incredible thing. So if Magesi want to win this game, the key to it, and what we've seen, starting from the SuperSport game that Mamelodi Sundowns played, going into the Polokwane City game where they stopped them from getting chances, is that you have to, number one, don't be too eager to jump and press Sundowns. Don't chase the ball. SuperSport, Polokwane City did a thing where they just sat in their formation and they sort of watched the ball. When it goes out to the right, just shift over a little bit to show that you are there, and shift back and shift back. And at some point what happens with Ronwen is that he gets impatient and he wants to play a ball directly into midfield to try to get to Ribeiro. And in the SuperSport game, that's where SuperSport was picking off those passes and then putting them under pressure. So I think that's one thing. The second thing is don't allow Reina's space. Don't play a high line versus Sundowns. Decide that you're going to sink in and make sure that whenever the ball goes wide or whenever the ball is seemingly going to those pockets where Reina's specifically, I want to focus on Reina's, where Reina's runs. Don't allow him to be alone there, and don't allow him space between the defense and the byline, or the goal line. Because that's where Reyners does the most of his work, and that's where Ribeiro has an eye for a pass to him or an eye for a pass over. And speaking of Ribeiro, Magesi is going to have to give somebody the job of making sure that Ribeiro is uncomfortable in the middle and doesn't get to think and make the passes that he normally makes. Now, they could change the whole thing in Mamelodi Sundowns. You never know with Ukush Mangoba. But I think Ribeiro is key to that way of playing. So you have to do two things. Very, very hard things. You have to contain Mamelodi Sundowns in the sense that you are closing down the spaces, not allowing them space to run. But then also you have to be patient enough not to jump. And the worry for Magesi is if Sundowns scores early, they're going to score 4. If Sundowns is able to breach that defense and Chipezetse maybe runs out of these Chipezetsenes, they're going to score 4. And the way that they defend is not a defensive control where Polokwane will hold Mamelodi Sundowns to no shots on target for 80 minutes or no shots for 80 minutes. Their type of defense is tum save Chipezetse, tum shy defender. It's for the volume of the attack that Mamelodi Sundowns tries to put on the team now. I think they're going to break. But then also to be patient enough to take your chance when it opens up, which I trust them to do. But it's going to be very interesting. In these two coaches, you have Mangoba, who's coming out to try kill people, and you have Larsen, who has done this before. I think if Magesi has a shining light in this game is that Clinton Larsen has done this before versus Mamelodi Sundowns with similar stakes and a similar power differences. Where Bloemfontein Celtic beat Mamelodi Sundowns, and it was a big surprise that they did that. I love that Coach Mangoba has spoken about how you can't take for granted that this team knows how to do, this coach, let me not say team, this coach knows how to plan for these situations. So I think it's going to be a very, very interesting game. My prediction is that we're still going to see a 2-0 win for Mamelodi Sundowns. I think they're going to score early. I think they're going to score 2, and then they're just going to hold the ball for the rest of the game and manage that game. It might get exciting later on, maybe last 30 minutes, but for the most part, I think they're going to keep it exactly like that, 2-0, and then just see the game out. So tactically, I'm looking forward to an amazing game. Calling Black Label Final. I will be live, so you can watch it with me. You can analyze the game together. You can jump in and speak to me on TikTok and on YouTube, and then we'll go from there. But I'll see you guys then for the game.